there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Throwing Ryan to start out. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing on second and long. Ryan. And that's going to be taken in by Ashton Dulin. And he'll be forced out of bounds on the other side of the field. A big play there for Indy. 46 yards. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. He'll get this down to the 38. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Ryan completes this to Pittman, and they'll work this down inside the 30. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in his opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. He rifles one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Raiders at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8 CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
It's a gain of 8.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. They gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
They will run for the first time here with White. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue. Just as hard to say his name as he is to block. He's there in on the stop that time. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Card out a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. Finding room at midfield. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gather the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Rodgers to return it. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Campbell making the catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Ryan. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Carr. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake in the ball and knock it free.
And yet again, Ryan is intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. White now on the read option. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 37. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
And Carr's going to keep it himself. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down, maybe by about a yard, as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Carr now on 1st down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Here's Jacobs. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Bird to return from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Jacobs will cross the line. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
On a return from his end zone, Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a free-possession game.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3, second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff, Taylor with it. And he's got room. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Raiders 14, Colts 7.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
From the 29, Carr. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Carr going to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. At their own 16. They'll start with a give to Taylor. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Ryan. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the 2nd half. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Now they pitch to Jacobs. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, now Carr. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he's got some space here. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Tackle made by Grover Stewart. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. Touchdown, Raiders! Darren Waller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders are looking as if they'll move it to 7-2 as they add on to this lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. And this one complete to Doolin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down. Ryan will throw again. A throw on the money there to Doolin. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 5. Now Ryan. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 32 yards. And the Colts have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Bird to return from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's Rodgers on the return. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Ryan. Flush to his right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll find Pittman. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Colts. Ashton Doolin, 27 yards. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. Bird to return from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? What does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And some room to maneuver. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Adams the man in motion right. Throwing his Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit, and let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball in back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone.